What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. A little live before lock, earlier one. We got an earlier edition for you. Apologies, but we got plans. All right. So we'll have an efficient hour coming at you here. Also think we might have a special guest in just a little bit. We're gonna do our best to break down the slate as best we can. We'll get into some of the projections, go over the schedule, all that stuff. And then, listen, this could end up being a bad giveaway tag because, again, I'm not 100% sure we're going to have a guest. But if we are, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, put hashtag George into the chat. Also, we got Sneeps, we got Ryan in here, Morella's in here, Akmal, let's go, Travel Addict Guy, Victor. Shout out Magic is out there with a big streak going on, right? We got a big streak going on up in there. You love to see it. Shout out to people still riding those streaks. These start trickling in, let's just start bouncing around this slate a little bit, try to get a good feel for it. I'll be honest with you guys. This past game week, I ended up tinkering with a bunch of stuff right before lock. And messed up my lineup so bad. So I ended up having like a very mid game week where I collected, I don't know, 1,000 essence, but it was disappointing. Let's pop over to the NBA Scary Bird and try to get a feel for what is going down. We just got some news here. It looks like Kawhi is out, which honestly, I'm glad we got that news now because I wasn't going to give you bad advice, but I was going to give you something to think about here because this Kawhi thing, and we can start with the last game of the night, right? It's Clippers at the Spurs. Let me do a quick refresh here. It looks like it's at 7.5 here. It looks like it's at 8.5 now. So this line had started at 9.5, had dipped back down to 7.5, and Kawhi was doubtful, and I was like, what's going on here? What is going on with this Kawhi news? But it looks like he is out. But some better news. You know who's in? We got our boy George here. What's up, George?
How are we doing? Can you hear me? Am I all good?
You sound great, dude. You sound great.
Cool.
You sound crisp, clear, under control. What's going on with George? How are we doing?
Not much. How's the chat doing? It's nice to be back. It's been a hot minute since I've done a live stream. I can tell by the fact that half my setup is just not working at the moment, which is really fun.
It looks like you shrunk. It looks like you've
Well, I think where my monitor is, and then the webcam that I put on top of it, I think it's just slowly decreased in size, or something's happened, and now I'm sort of like I'm up here and I'm making plays from down here for it.
Yeah, you're Peter Dinklage by the end of the show.
Agreed. But no, I'm happy to be back. It's be fun to do it. It's really early, so it feels a bit odd.
I know.
Like I'm so out of whack. It's DST over in the States, right, at the moment.
Right.
So been or something like that.
Well, yeah. Last week was the first week that we had the time shift, and I'm also doing the show an hour early because I got to get out of here in an hour. So for the Euros are like all of a sudden I might as well be doing the show first thing in the morning for you. Yeah. How's the Sorare been treating you this season?
Pretty good actually. I've kind of I've somewhat enjoyed it and somewhat haven't. It feels like Sorare themselves kind of just been like, here, go play with it, and then barely had any updates, which is a bit odd for a season 4. But no, I started playing some of the in-season stuff on the limited side. I enjoy the streaks. They're quite fun.
Yeah.
But classic, not much has changed in the time, and we haven't had any special competitions or, any sort of thing, which is, an interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out for the future of what they want to do. But no, I kind of enjoyed it. It's just I kind of, would have liked a little bit more, but.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what they punch out for the playoffs if something like that happens, or if they've fully shifted to baseball. I know the auctions have started today on the American League side of stuff. I see Jumpshoot in the chat. Jumpshoot and I are going to be firing up a little MLB show tomorrow on the So Rare channel at I think this time tomorrow. So
I'm seeing some personal attacks here. Once a quarterly George sighting. DJ. I don't need this. Okay. I don't need that sort of grief. Do you know what I mean?
Well, honestly, he might have gotten that from you, right? You just said Sorare not giving us an announcement, and then they're like, "Hey, maybe we get as many announcements as we do George sightings."
Do you know what I mean? Like, make more announcements, and there'd be more George sightings. That's all I'm going to say. No, I actually, I did, and this is an absolutely hashtag shameless plug that I did put a video out today, which is I did make me laugh as I went on the YouTube page. I was like, oh, like in 6 videos ago, it was like the start of the season, and I'm back. And then I proceeded to make 6 videos, and we're in March.
Listen, you're a working man. You're a busy man. You know, the updates will come when they're required. You know.
Yeah, agreed. Hopefully, we do get something fun for the playoffs, but I fear it was probably decided back in September and hasn't changed since. That's my
that would be
my inclination, but
that would be my guess too. That would be my guess. What you know what? I was gonna go game by game. I mean, I guess I should. Maybe what I'll do is go through some of the injury stuff from the games, and then if you have some takes on the teams that are going tonight or on, and then we'll do projections and stuff too. But if you have any like overarching things, just fire them out. And I'll just do tonight. I won't do the entire game week here. But we got Orlando winners of 7 in a row, Atlanta winners of 9 in a row. We got Kuminga questionable and Black and Franz out. Are you buying either of these teams who are streaking right now?
I have a soft spot for the Magic.
Yeah.
And I always will, and I can't get involved in Jalen Hawks. Jalen Hawks, that's an interesting phrase.
I like it. I like it.
I can't get involved in Jalen Johnson basketball. I just can't. He's burned me too much in the past, and I will always hold the grudge. So I have the soft spot for the Magic, and it will maintain that way. I think the one guy that always lets me down, even though he's out, would be Anthony Black, which doesn't do anything for the guys that are looking for fantasy plays on it tonight. But Jalen Johnson's a great Sorare asset. But it seems like whenever I bet on Jalen Johnson, he's just an absolute salesman for me and would just refuse to go anywhere close to his line. So, but that's my 2 cents on it.
No, I like it. We'll get into the projections again for those people who have like more specific questions about it. But I'm with you. Orlando, I find I just get wrong all the time with Orlando. If Paulo projects well, it'll be Suggs who goes off and vice versa, or Bane will go nuts. And I've just gotten it wrong. Atlanta, I feel like I've gotten a grasp on. Although if Kuminga comes back tonight, that might muck it up a little bit. The Warriors are playing the G League Wizards tonight. I think. Actually, I should do a refresh on this because I thought he was probable now, but maybe my stuff is incorrect. Hold on. Nope, still questionable. So we have Quentin Post and LJ Cryer. Cryer, not somebody I'm familiar with. Both of those guys are questionable. Seth Curry, Al Horford, Chef Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Moody are all out. The good news is good news in quotes. They should get Draymond back tonight, Porzingis and D'Anthony Melton. Are you buying the Pod God, the Pajemski Renaissance?
I'm a Melton fan because I'm a stupid Philly fan, and that's just kind of where he's still there in my heart for it. But this is the Tristan Vukcevic Sorare legacy game because it seems like every time the Wizards play and he's an actual asset, it's always him. So, but. We say G League Wizards. I don't think the Warriors are too far away from it. Even the fact that they run the Knicks, they nearly beat the Knicks last night. So I kind of this isn't a game I'm gonna pounce to watch. But Trae Young's fun as an asset, and the basis of that. I'd say he's fun as an asset, it's sort of. He's just going to be dragging his L10 down ready for next season. At which point but then you're stuck with a classic card, and I don't know how much utility there's going to be there. So
I know, man. I know, like the Wizards are so weird because everybody's playing 20 minutes. So Sar, Whitmore, D'Lo, Leaky Black, Anthony Davis, and Keyshawn George are all out, and then you'll have Trae Young who'll play 24 to 25 minutes. Vukcevic, who you mentioned, will play 20. Koulibaly will play 25. Angel Reese's brother won't play, I don't think. Will Riley's maybe he gets to 30. Trey Johnson 25. Like, they just got so many guys playing 25 minutes. It's hard to pick one. I'm more excited on the Warriors side of stuff just because the Wizards suck at defense. Blazers and Nets. So I thought we were going to get a Denny Q tag today because he played 400 minutes yesterday, but instead it's Vit Krejci. He got a doubtful tag. The Young Blood's questionable, and Time Lord is questionable, which means Kling Kong. Kling Kong's going against the Brooklyn Nets, and there's going to be no Time Lord, so I think he probably goes nuts. And then I don't know if Denny back-to-back makes me a little bit nervous, but maybe they're just pissed off they lost yesterday to the Sixers.
The Denny back-to-back's not great, but I'd still sort of I'd still go Denny. I think he's the most sound sort of pick from that lineup for the Blazers. My favorite game currently is seeing on the Nets injury reports when they come through and the sort of the starting team and the thing, and if it's actually an NBA player or if it's an AI name that's been mentioned.
Yeah,
that's my favorite stuff. I'm seeing names on top tier projections for the Nets, and I'm convinced that Billy's putting them in there as a joke because they're not real people. I'm just sure of it.
Well, just wait till we get to Baz Mabang, which is a real name that's projecting today. Yeah, you can't play anybody on Brooklyn. Maybe Danny Wolf. Danny Wolf's probably the only guy. That's the only one I'm getting to.
Well, I'm seeing Malachi Smith on there, and then I'm just having flashbacks to a 50-point game. I'm like, there's no way he can do that.
Well, that's Malachi.
That's Flynn. Malachi Flynn.
That's Malachi Flynn. Dude, when the 10-day was announced, I did the exact same thing. And then I saw a photo of him, and I was like, I don't remember Malachi Flynn being that black. And then I knew it was a different person.
Was Malachi Flynn on the Raptors when he got the 50-point game?
I think it was either I think he was on the Pistons maybe, or he did it against the Pistons. I can't remember.
Yeah.
He did play for the Raptors, though. He did play for the Raptors.
That's so funny. I'm just convinced reading that they're the same person.
Dude, I did the same.
I've got no idea who Malachi Smith is.
I swear to God, I did the same thing. And then I really did. I saw the photo next to the announcement. I was like, that is not him. All right. Yeah. Drew Holiday, I think, will be fine, too. He didn't play that many minutes last night, which is kind of nice for tonight in a great matchup. But Portland should be able to take care of business. Phoenix still without my favorite player, Mark Williams, and Dylan Brooks is out. Boston pretty healthy outside of Vucci. But now, like, the Boston stuff's a little funky because JB's cap has come back up, and now you have Tatum out there playing mega mins, and, like, Derek White, maybe, his usage comes down a little bit. Celtics, really good basketball team. Maybe not a fantasy-friendly basketball team for the next couple of weeks until stuff irons out. But anything about this game that's got you moving?
I was looking at Jaylen Brown unders, so I wouldn't be taking him as a sort of a play for it in this one. Jalen Green will take 75 shots and make 8 of them. But outside of that, probably I always like Derek White when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both play. I don't like Derek White. I don't like Derek White when he's the second guy.
So when you want those clean shots.
Yeah, I want to see an open look, and then you just hear, it's always that announcer for the Celtics that shouts Derek White for 3. And he does it in that pause step-by-step mode. And I just remember watching that at like 2 a.m. in the morning. It's just in my like dreams and nightmares.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But his best call is Jaylen Brown, I think. The JB43 is
no, in my head, it's always going to be the Derek White one for it. But I think outside of, well, not that you're going to take Jaylen Brown for where he's at for it, but I would always go for a little Derek White one for this one, but that'd be me.
Yeah, I like that. Cade is in a good spot too against the centerless Phoenix Suns. Phoenix, I'm not really too excited about tonight's game, anyways. Speaking of teams that are not excited to play basketball, Grizzlies and Bulls are playing. Memphis, I mean, dude, Memphis, I don't know. Javon Small might be running around a bunch tonight. They suck, man. Gigi Jackson's doubtful. Ty Jerome's doubtful. Scottie Pippen Jr.'s out for the season, along with like 9 other guys on their team. Taj Gibson has a jersey. Like, I don't know what to do with Memphis. Chicago is kind of exciting because Memphis does suck. So I'm excited about Giddey and Bucelis, of course. I think even like Trey Jones is viable. Jalen Smith too. Bucelis, all of those guys. But can you talk yourself into anybody on the Memphis side of things?
I could talk myself into Olivier Maxence Prosper just because it's a fantastic name to say.
It is.
But outside of that, no. I like Jalen. Well, I don't mind Jalen Wells, but he's not really a so rare asset for it. I think if you're looking at anyone on the ball side of things, it's going to be Leonard Miller's like the play of the year for like the fact that he has the low cap, but is getting really good run outs for the balls. But I think you're kind of looking at for the giddy man for the Gidster to go at it. So
him. Taylor Hendricks too. That's a fine shout, especially with Gigi Jackson. But it's just hard to get excited about the Memphis guys. More excited. Go ahead.
Big Dick Nick, he's back. He's on the ball.
Yeah, Big Dick Nick Rich. Yeah, he's back. I don't know. I feel like his minutes have been all over the place. But you're right. He's back. So maybe Yabusele plays a little bit less. Jalen Smith playing 30 minutes in that last game got me excited about him. So if Jalen Smith is going to play 30 minutes against this Grizzlies front court, I'm excited.
Is Matt McClung still on the Bulls, or did they release him?
I think he's on their G League team.
See, like, why do they not, like, realistically, come on. This is the perfect Matt McClung game. Just I don't know why. Like,
especially because they got Yuki. Like, Yuki's out there. Let that be the backcourt. Just throw 5 guards. Just roll out Sexton, Yuki, Giddey, Trey Jones, and Matt McClung.
That was their trade strategy anyway. Just see how many guards we can acquire and go from there.
Up some guards.
If I was in the Chicago area, I don't know if the game is being played in Chicago. I can't remember. But if I was in the Chicago area and it was $5 to get in and I was going to see Matt McClung, reigning two-time dunk contest champion.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a fun Monday night out.
Fired up, dude. That's like how when you went to a random Miami Heat Washington Wizards game, Bam scores 83 points. We need stuff like that. We need stuff like that to keep us excited. Another game that really means nothing to anybody, Mavs and the Pels. The one kind of fun thing here, and listen, we haven't been able to do this drop a lot this year because of tanking and injury purposes, but
PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington.
So they ruled out Gafford, and Jason Kidd came out and was like, who's our center? Not Marvin Bagley. It's PJ Washington. PJ started at the center yesterday too. Had 5 steals and a block. So we might be firing up PJ here.
I'm all for it. I think the side of things for the Mavs are just weird because also it's like you keep seeing these trends of the teams that are obviously like heavy tanking for it to go and secure a pick. And then I looked at the box score and I'm like, oh yeah, of course they're beating the Cavs. Why would they not be?
Yeah, that was a weird game, man.
So like there's just stuff like that still doesn't make sense for the Mavs for me. I always like the upside of Max Christie and then remember playing Max Christie and it doesn't really go that well for me on Sorare. But I think this is also, I remember seeing the post from DeJounte Murray, like the quote afterwards.
Oh my God.
We're pushing for the play-in. And then I Googled the standings and was like, brother, you're 10 games out. Yeah. You're not getting into this.
It was out of control. And so many people shared it too, like, let's go. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, you just have to go undefeated and you need 15 more games and then you got a shot. Yeah.
It was a bit of an odd one. I kind of respected it instead of just being like, yeah, we're going to just, play hard. And then they go out there and play 18 minutes and they don't really do it. So I kind of had some respect for it, but I quite like DeJounte Murray again for this just because he seems to be the one that wants to actually try. And I feel like Zion is projected really well, which means he won't play well. So I'm going to leave that one there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love DeJounte. He's questionable tonight with an illness, but if he goes, he is a smash. If he doesn't go, maybe we finally see ceiling Zion again. Zion's been weird where it's not that he's been playing poorly. He'll just go like 7 for 10 from the field. Like he's going to score 20 points, but he's not doing all of the other stuff since DeJounte has come back. So he and Trey Murphy and even Sadiq Bey probably come back into the picture, but because they've been their usage was so high before DeJounte came back, their caps just aren't right yet for it.
But I mean, if you're pushing for the play-in, you can't miss a game through illness, DeJounte. Like you have to be on the court. So this is where I don't understand what happened with the Pelicans. Seemed every year to have like a mid-range draft pick as a big man who for like 10 games looks really good. And then I'm like invested. And then they just go, yeah, we're just going to cut his minutes. We're not feeling it. Like happened with Yves Missy. And now it's just happening with Derek Queen. Why is Derek Queen not getting the love?
And just to remind people, they traded an unprotected first-round pick for next year for Derek Queen. So shout out the Atlanta Hawks, baby.
Love the smoothie center.
But I do like this game from like a fantasy environment. I think this will be fun. So pieces will matter here. And then you got 2. We already talked Spurs Clippers last game, Lakers Rockets. This line shifted a little bit towards LA. Rockets are favored by 1.5. I initially was like, oh, maybe because Şengün is questionable with lower back pain. He missed the last game. And I was like, maybe that means he's like leaning towards out. But this game's super important for Houston and the Lakers, like for the standings in the West. And so I kind of think Şengün goes, and maybe that was just public money coming in on the LA side of things, all those fish out there. But I don't really know. I don't know what to make of any of this except for, Luke is a good play. Austin Reeves is a good play. LeBron's sometimes a good play. Like, I don't know. Any takes from this one?
From this, it would be. I feel like Luka's going to have a massive game. If I'm being honest, I always feel that whenever any sort of main ball handler plays the Rockets, for some reason, in my head it shouldn't make sense because they'd put Thompson on them, but it doesn't happen, and it always ends up just going against them. So I feel like Luka will have a really big game. So I like him from it. I like LeBron because his cap's in the low 30s, whereas Austin Reeves has got a higher cap than LeBron, and that doesn't sit right with me. Probably because of what's going on in my brain from thinking of the type of player LeBron James is and the type of player that Austin Reeves is, and that doesn't make sense. But in any case, on the Houston side of things, Şengün, I mean, he's against DeAndre Ayton. It depends on what DeAndre Ayton turns up, but I can just see that sort of weird hook shot that Şengün does all the time that you're like, how does that go in? And it's gone in. So I can see that happening a lot against DeAndre Ayton, but from a Sorare perspective, it's probably LeBron and Luka.
Yeah. I'm struggling with the Houston stuff too, and you're right about like Amen looking like it should be like that's not the best matchup. But Luka's size, I think, kind of it neutralizes everything. Not neutralizes, but that's a beatable match. Like if I knew Amen was on Austin Reeves tonight, that's a matchup I'd be like, well, screw this. I'm all set on Austin Reeves. And as Travel Addict guy says, Şengün's been pretty rough lately. I think he's just been hurt. I think he's been playing through the injury, and that's why they've sat him for a little bit. But that takes us through tonight. So let's what we'll do now is remind the people what we're doing for the giveaway. Since we have a special guest, you like the stream, subscribe to the channel, put hashtag George into the chat, get that fired up there, and then let's jump into the projections from our friends over at Top Tier. And we'll do the same thing where we'll go through some of the lower end guys, the captains, the MVPs, and then the just like value in general. So let's dive over there. Let me see, that's zoomed in enough, and let's do less than or equal to 20. And then, we'll do a couple of them. And then if there's somebody you're excited about, just jump in. We got Leonard Miller here. So the Bulls have 3 games this game week. One thing, I thought they were going to limit some of these Bulls minutes. Then Giddey played 40 minutes in back-to-backs over the weekend. So, I don't know. But Leonard Miller's over here. He's going to cap a 17. He projects for 38. Ayo Dosunmu, who's been playing some pretty heavy minutes for Minnesota, who sucks at basketball now. He's going to cap of 18 with 33. Ousmane Dieng missed the last game, but it seems like he should be back for the Bucks. He's going to cap of 18 with 33. Josh Minot, somehow, we said his name at the beginning of the year. We're still saying it at the end of the year. He projects okay. Campaign in that broken jumper. We got Isaiah Jackson. Cody Williams. Cody Williams coming off a 34-7-7 for Utah, which was insane shit. And then there's Quentin Jackson, Keldon Johnson, George's Eves Missy, Quentin Post. I don't know. Anybody in this kind of range outside of Leonard Miller, who we already talked about, that you'd be going out of your way to try to roster?
Probably Ayo Dosunmu. He's the one that I feel like just has the hot hand right now for the Timberwolves. Naz Reid can't hit anything. Rudy Gobert's performance against the Thunder was quite possibly one of the worst I've ever seen in my life, and I am a professional Rudy Gobert hater. Campaign, I can't believe we're talking about in March of 2026 as being a viable option still. For reference on Campaign, when I saw him come up in projections, it came through. I'd vaulted all of my Campaign cards. I'm like, he's never going to play again, so I'm just going to vault him. That's how I saw Campaign's future in the NBA. So we can go from there.
He faces the wrong direction when he shoots the ball.
Yeah, but it works, weirdly. It does work for him in some capacity. I'd love to see. Could you imagine if Luka or KD just tried to do his jump shot in a game? It would just be fantastic. Yeah. If you just saw another NBA player trying to do it, it would be amazing. I quite like Quinton Post outside of it because the Warriors are a bit of a funky one. They're playing the Wizards, and it's kind of maybe they give Quinton Post a bit more of a run out if he stays out of foul trouble. But outside of that, I mean, this feels like that final lock of the regular season. That is what I'd expect it to look like if I'm sort of looking at the value board.
And we've been doing it for a month already. It's been nuts. And part of it's tanking. I think part of it's just injuries. Philly, the Philly stuff is crazy where it's even they're with Dembona, no, he's not playing. You just got random ass dudes like Jabari Walker, Trenton Watford, just all these randos popping. Let's just do it by value too. So there's our boy Bez Mabang. I'm assuming Mabang doesn't have a card.
No, he doesn't. I've already looked. He doesn't have one.
Can you just God. we would just be playing Mike Breen drops all day long every time Mabang got points. We talked about Leonard Miller. There's another one. I'm assuming he doesn't have a card. Dejan Giroux, who I said today sounds like he should be a character that plays against Shorzy. I don't know if there's any Shorzy fans out there, but it sounds like a Dejan Giroux. We got Josh Minot. We've talked about him. Io Usmani. There's Malachi Smith. Yeah, so a lot of the same names. Here's your Barlow and Marcus Sasser, but it's kind of gross. It's gross sledding down here. Never heard of Tyson Etienne. Don't know who that is for Brooklyn.
But is he not a running back in the NFL?
Yeah, that's I guess. On the New Orleans Saints now, right? Who actually I think he just told us how to pronounce his name, and we've been doing it incorrectly this whole time. It's like Etienne, I think.
But they all do this. It was like Bijan Robinson, and he just had his name said for ages, and then he decided to change how it's said. And you're like, come on, dude. And then just like it's been done for a year. Now you're saying it, but
yeah. There we go. We got Anderson Garcia. That's a real person too. Oh, Dustin in the chat. Let's go, Dustin. Lakers in 5. Dustin, I didn't even tell you the story, but when we were in LA at the Underdog event, this guy, shout out our guy Hot Scissors, who was there. He asked how you and Greg were doing. I didn't even know we had some diehard Top Shot fans in LA. All right, so for the top MVPs here, I mean, the Giddey thing is the one that sticks out the most to me here with the cap at 39, projecting for 60. Again, the matchup against Memphis is just awesome. Wemby has 3 games this game week. I imagine he's playing all of them, but I wonder if his minutes come down a little bit just because, I think tonight's the Clippers without Kawhi. Tomorrow's the Kings, which not to say that Wemby can't get there, but there's just no reason to run him into the ground right now. They're like so comfortably in the 2 seed. And then, yeah, you got Luka, JJ, SGA, Trey Murphy, like really, the 3 games. That's why just really projecting high. Paulo's up there, Spida, Buzelis, another one, projects for just shy of 50. And then you see KD, Cade, and company. Anybody do you have, what's your favorite MVP?
I think MVP will probably be Luka. The Wemby minutes just scare me. I also saw something, I can't remember exactly the sort of terms around it, but the Clippers have an unbelievable trend, like favoring them covering their spread tonight. I know there's no Kawhi, but they have a really, really good trend on covering. So I don't think that game's going to be the blowout that we might think it could be. In terms,
does that mean you're jamming some Mathurin or Garland?
Neither of them will ever be jammed for me. I can't trust Benedict Mathurin still, and Darius Garland possibly is the biggest like fantasy tease of all time. He is a man that will always project and never deliver for me. So, but outside of that, I would probably lean Luka with the 3 games because I think Luka's minutes are way more safer than Wemby's in terms of it. He will, and I just trust Luka as a bit more as an asset for it. But Wemby has the higher ceiling. He's not even just looking at the projection stuff. Wemby has the ceiling purely on the defensive efforts for it as well. I actually think Paolo's a bit of an interesting one as that sort of ulterior MVP. I quite like Paolo for it. So that would be, and to be honest, the cap's only 41, so you can definitely get him in alongside Wemby or Luke, especially if you're playing the Classic where the cap is 100 million points. So you can kind of don't need to worry about having anyone out for it. So that would be my alternate pick for it. But yeah, I mean, the stuff for it is fun in terms of the slate that we've got here, but yeah, I would lean on those 2.
Yeah, I like that call. Giannis kind of, his minutes have looked good lately too, and his cap is sub 40. That's pretty fun.
Did he not do his knee?
What's up?
Did he not hyperextend his? Was he not like? Did he not fuck that or?
I thought. Did he do that in the last game, or was that 2 games ago? Because
I thought that was the last game because he had like 35, and then he just done his knee and was like, I could have come back and played, but we were winning.
Okay, maybe that was the last game. I think you're right. That was the last game. Okay, that is something to pay attention to. Then they should be shutting him down anyways. I don't know why he's playing anyways. Let's just
play Miles Turner. He's playing amazing right now as well.
Dude, Miles Turner is the worst fucking basketball player in the league.
It's just mental because they paid him so much money as well and just doesn't play how he played for the Pacers because it was just constant quickness because you just have Giannis on your team. So it's just like, well, I don't really understand what they were doing, but
it's just so bad. All right. So if we just sort by value, let's just see some of the, I'm not really interested in the lower cap guys, but just like this mid-range for like the cheat codes, if you will. So Denny here, cap of 24. He's still feasting off that all-star bullshit plus plus getting hurt exactly 45 seconds into a game. You have Donovan Mitchell is still at a cap of 30. Leonard Miller, we talked about him. Quentin Grimes, I actually like whatever. He scored 30 points in this last game, but even with the extra minutes, I feel like Quentin Grimes has been kind of bad.
I can't ever do Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes is like the professional, a team that has no chance of winning, and he looks somewhat all right, and then he'll go into off season and be like, I should be paid like an MVP, and it's like,
yeah, no. I thought we were going to see like an explosion from him when everybody went down. And I mean, he did. He scored 30 real life points yesterday or 2 days ago. But you got LeBron. You mentioned him. His cap's only 34. That's kind of fun. Zion, if DeJounte's out, I really do like this play. I think this is a fine play anyways, just because his cap is so low. We talked about Sticks, Jalen Smith, cap of 26, projection of 40. I think that's fun. Any other names here? Jalen Green, pass. Norman Powell, he came back. I was surprised Norm came off the bench, but his cap is 23, and he did play 30 minutes, so that's pretty fun. Danny Wolf, we talked about him. Suggs with the stock upside is fun. Sorry,
but I didn't realize the Suns have 3 games. Booker at 31 is quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go for Booker. I mean, I'd go for Booker over Jalen Green. I don't know. Obviously, I don't do the maths on this, but I don't care about the one extra cap. You're always going to pick a Devin Booker over Jalen Green. So
yeah, make it work. And then why don't we just run the optimal and then we get into some questions. Curious to see what Billy spreadsheet says. So the optimal here is Giddey, Jalen Johnson, Denny, Leonard Miller, Victor Wembanyama. I think if I went to my collection, I don't know if I have a Giddey. Yeah, I don't.
Are you playing the in-season stuff, or are you?
Yeah, I'm playing mostly in season. So I decided not to play rare this year and just played limited, and so spent some money so I could get some good cards for limited. So I've been doing limited. I had a really good run in like December, but I've been like fine since then. I haven't had like a fun streak. But yeah, don't have Giddey, which feels like a problem this late. The other thing I wanted to shout out to, like if you wanted to IKB, I know better stuff. Like Klingon, I just do want to shout, like cap at 34, the projection of 47. I really think he could score 60 tonight if Time Lord is ruled out. That's still reliant on that, but I mean, even if he only plays like 30 minutes, Brooklyn sucks against bigs, like real bad. So if there's, if you want to use the projections for your main lineup and then you're like trying to get a little different in your second lineup, Klingon not projecting as good as some of these other ones. I don't know. I feel like I'd mess around with that. How often? I don't have that at all. Yeah. How often do you like build strictly from projections versus using the old George brain?
I would say, well, right now I'm on the 4th rung, would you say? I don't know, 4th step of the streak. So I'm on both the contender and champion. Woo! So I will rely pretty heavily on, I'm looking at Billy's guidance here. It's almost like I'll be blindfolded and I'll click that projection button and then I'll take all the claim for it. So I think right now I'm kind of leaning on that. And then because I don't know if I should say the beauty or the badness about this year, because you get 5 lineups. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'll put 3 out from the projections and then 2 on my I know ball vibes and go from there and see how that goes. So,
yeah, that's what I do too. I love that. A couple of things, just because I know we're going to spend the next 20 minutes answering some questions, and then I got to wrap up. We can only do an hour today because we're going out to we're going to go check out some Zach Lowe. We're going to the Zach Lowe live podcast today in Brooklyn. So that's fun. But a couple of things, like the injury stuff that we're waiting on. The biggest one is DeJounte. I already kind of talked about the DeJounte thing. So if DeJounte is out, Sadiq Bey, Zion, and Trey all get a little bit of a boost. You can even fuck around with Jeremiah Fears if you wanted to, because we know Bryce McGowan's is out, so we don't have to worry about Bryce stealing some of those minutes. The other one was Houston, and I don't think I talked about this. Jabari Smith Jr. is going to play 155 minutes no matter who's available, but he gets a few more shots if there's no Goon. Reed Shepherd also gets a boost. The other thing I will say, I haven't checked how he projected, but okay, don't play Tari Eason. That's just what I would say. Ime Udoka has decided Tari Eason sucks. And he's only playing, no matter who's available, he's playing like 20 to 24 minutes. They're using Dorian Finney-Smith a little bit more. Even without Şengün last game, he played 20 minutes. Maybe it's matchup-based and he goes back to it now, but I'd prefer trying to get to Jabari. His cap's low enough that you can do it, but I don't love it. I think that's most of the injury stuff. Like if this happens, this happens. But yeah, why don't you guys start firing out questions? The first one I did see was from Trash European, which is just always so funny to say, Trash European. Let's you saying best plays of 36 and below. So you see Spida down here projects the best, and you got Buzelis, LeBron, Zion, Mobley, Denny, Reeves, Harden, Goon. Anybody from this list? Let's actually say this. Anybody from this list you don't like that you're like, I'm all set on this projection. And I can blow this up a little bit more if you can't see it that well.
The one that was scaring me the most was Şengün just because of the Q tag.
Yeah.
But then he does play DeAndre Ayton, so that's a massive benefit for him. Outside of that, I'm not buying the massive Q for him to go for like a 45-point game, but I'm not buying the Austin Reeves sort of value here. I think LeBron's much better for it. So I don't love the Reeves one, and I don't really love the Şengün one, despite them having double-digit value plays. So that'd be it.
Yeah, I think your best bet for Reeves here. And sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't even realize James. I didn't see James Harden. He was horrendous in the game against Dallas. So
yeah, he looked.
I'd probably lean there slightly because Donovan Mitchell is still like, this is my team. It's not yours, James, and that's just how they play. So, yeah, they're probably the three I'd swerve from.
The one thing I would say, too, about Reeves here that I'm just realizing right now is they do have 3 games this game week. And the only reason I mention that, because there's a couple of teams, there's a chance LeBron only plays 2 of these 3 games. And then so maybe Reeves gets a little bit of a boost on that game. But again, you're just like banking on somebody missing. So I don't know. DJP wants us to rank him, and then he listed 400 fucking players. All right. So you're going to pick your favorite from this list. So we have Nickeil Alexander. Also, DJP, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because you're here all the time, that I feel more comfortable yelling at you. I'm happy you're here, DJP, and it comes from a place of love. You did list a lot of guys, though. Okay, so we got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Benny Math, Jalen Suggs, CJ Pritchard, Kada, OMP, Prosper, that is Cam Spencer, PJ Najee, Jalen Smith. But yeah, I agree with you. This range is really tough, and I think some of these feels safer in some of the highest ceiling. If you were just picking ceiling, where are you going here? And you don't have to rank all of them. Just pick like your favorite 2.
Ceiling, I would probably say Suggs, or I always have a thing for Peyton Pritchard whenever Tatum and Brown play. Yeah. Just because I always feel like, especially against the Suns, they're just going to put some absolute strangle chokehold defense on them. And then it's just like, we live with Derek White and Peyton Pritchard beating us. We don't live with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum beating us. But yeah, they're probably the ones. Benedict Mathurin could have 4 or 40. So it's just wherever you live on that as well. So
yeah, I think, I know you hate Mathurin. I think that might be my favorite ceiling wise there. I really like PJ and Jalen Smith too. I really think Jalen Smith has a chance to just have a massive, massive game tonight.
We've done a really good job there at helping him narrow it down by picking about 6 players out of the list of 8 that he sent. So
here's what I would do. I like OMP and Cam Spencer, but they are clearly last place for me in this group, just because at any point that Scandinavian man can play them for 20 minutes. So they have, I think, 11 guys available tonight, and that's like 5 too many to play a Grizzly. Because he's like the coach treats the Grizzlies like Eric Spoelstra treats Khalil Ware. I'm gonna do whatever I can not to play you 30 minutes. I don't. CJ's just too old. I just don't want to play CJ. So I think I would take CJ off that list, and Najee. I don't think I'd play Najee either. So I hope that helps. All right, we have 3DK is running out this for Streak 5. He's got Wemby, JJ, Giddey, Booker, Minot. Minot scares the shit out of me, but that allows you to play a lot of great players.
I'm on streak 4 and I haven't looked at my teams yet, but I mean that looks pretty solid. Giddey and JJ are always going to have high upsides. Booker's there, Minot's there. Wemby's the best projection of the week. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that for Arctic, he's saying just pick one of these 3, and clearly Arctic wants to play Jalen Johnson because he threw in a nickname halfway through. Jalen Flying Johnson.
Hey, where's the love for Giannis and Josh Giddey?
Yeah. Well, I can think of one for Giddey. I actually think Giannis is probably the most dangerous play of all of these 3, just because of that injury that you referenced. So I think I would put him 3rd here. I know Giddey's projecting for like 1 million, but I think I might lean JJ, and I know you hate JJ. So are you going Giddey here?
I would go Giddey, but then it would be really on brand if the balls. I would see the lock go, and then I'd get an underdog update, and it would go, Josh Giddey limited to 20 to 24 minutes.
I know, right?
What do we mean? How is this coming out now?
Memes Albania is trying to talk us into Omer, who I was saying Omer this morning. Omer, you're 6'7", just for try to get some more young people. He's projecting for 0, man. So I don't know if we can do it. He might play a little bit, but with Post and Draymond and Porzingis, I don't know how much run he's getting. Justin Edwards has been on a stock run here. He's just been a few steals a game. He's going to cap a 16 projection of 23. As a former Philly Melton head, do you also support Justin Edwards just because?
I'll have Justin Edwards over Barla. I just don't want to talk about Philly. It just makes me be sad and then angry. It will just go through all the 5 stages of it. So I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. I mean, you could definitely play me. For me, I think he is somebody I'd put in a contender lineup versus a champion lineup. I don't know if we've got 45-point upside right now. Okay, people are saying we got Booker, JG, Denny, Grimes, and Minot to 220. Yeah, 220 is probably in range there. And then what about Cade against Washington? Could be over in the first half. I feel like we haven't mentioned many of the Pistons. Do they have one game this game week? What's going on? No, they have 2 games. He projects for 49. I am with you. It could be over in the first half. We haven't talked about Jalen Duren at all either, but he should just, if Bam went for 83, what's Duren going to do,
Yeah, but Bam went for 83 because also he hit 5 threes in that first quarter or something silly. Jalen Duren's not doing that. It would be so Jalen Duren as well to have 12 and then he would just make 2 stupid fouls and and then he'd just be sat. So that's the only other thing with Jalen Duren that still is the thing for it. But I'm trying to think what other plays could be there. But yeah. Yeah.
No, Detroit, you mean?
Yeah, on Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know. They're really hard to figure out if it's not their top 2. A lot of people talking about Josh Minot and Conrad mentioned the Nick Claxton thing. If I remember correctly, Claxton played Claxton didn't play the last game. He did not play, and Josh Minot played 21 minutes. But the last game Claxton did play, Minot played 24 minutes. And in that game, I think Noah Clowney also played. So they're losing more minutes. So I get the hesitation here. Claxton's not going to play more than 20-ish minutes. So I think you're okay. Because they still don't have, now they're without, these are the guys the Nets are missing. It's Noah Clowney. It is Michael Porter Jr. It's Day'Ron Sharp, their backup big. It's Yegor Demon. It's Terrence Mann. All those guys are out. So I do still think you can get to Minot. I'm actually not too nervous about that. Regular season Randall, let's see. He finally had a good game. He's his cap is 26. Holy shit. 26 projection of 39. Are you trusting any Wolves not named Io?
No, is the straight up answer right there. Yeah. This is the game where everyone's like, oh, Julius Randle, oh wow, what a game he just had. And then you put him in with a cap of 26 and he gets 24 and you're like, oh, right.
Yeah. That sounds about right, man. That sounds about right. He's so frustrating. That team's so frustrating. I, about a month ago, got pretty excited about Minnesota being a dark horse team to come out the West. I think it's going to be OKC, but I was like, I really liked the Io pickup. It addressed what they needed. They basically traded Mike Conley for him and then went and got Mike Conley back. They got Kyle Anderson. I don't know. It all seemed like it made sense. And then they've just played they're going to fire their coach. Chris Finch is gonzo, I think.
It'll be an interesting one because Ant loves him, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Memes Albania is Omer Yurtseven. Hold on. I'm going to look something up. Where is Omer Yurtseven from? Turkish. Okay. All right. I was waiting for this to say Albania, but as an Armenian, can't support it. Sorry. No Yurtseven for me. Max Christie. What do we got here? Max Christie. Projects for 15. I know you were saying that you always get dazzled by the Max Christie projection before remembering it's Max Christie.
I will project you'll have a bad time.
Danny Wolf, a Brooklyn Net here. Cap 22 projects for 35. He seems to be the one guy playing real minutes. But again, you put your trust in the Brooklyn Nets.
I feel like because of your profile picture, you have to play him.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I missed
I
that.
feel like that's the answer right there. Just put him in one lineup. That's not like your fifth one.
That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Ryan Rollins. So Rollins is going to be tough to project for a couple of reasons. One, Kevin Porter Jr. missed his last game, right? And Giannis is questionable. So right now he projects for 35, but I don't know. It's a Husky. All right, dude, relax.
Yeah, that's just what made me laugh. I was like, okay, I kind of was going to guess it was a Husky, but, it looks a bit like a wolf. Let's just say that. Like, come on. We knew what we was doing here. I didn't need that. It's a Husky, though. It's not a wolf, you fucking idiot. Right, great. Sorry.
Oh, that was really funny. Bad steps not trust in the Missy projection. Let's see. Projection for 26. I'll tell you the last 5 games for our boy Eves. Baylor legend Eves Missy. Here we go. He played 15, 16, 14, 19, and 25 minutes. That last game that he played 25 minutes here, it's because I think we saw Carlo Carlo did play 21 minutes in that game. So is it DeAndre Jordan finally stopped playing? Okay, so DJ did not play any minutes in that last game. So I think this projection is saying that DeAndre Jordan's not going to play still. So if you think they're going to play him. But
Adam Silver's NBA. I'm seeing a question of Rashir Fleming or Ben Saraf. And it's not the final lock of the year. What is going on?
Fleming low-key been playing a little bit here. Kappa 13 projection to 20. And then Ben Saraf. I think I'd go Fleming. I
don't have an angle on either of them. I'm really sorry, 3D. I don't have an angle on either. That's a flip of a coin if you're leading on that. So
I think I'd go throw up instead of yeah.
I just close the app. Just don't play. Just don't submit the lineup.
Shut the door. All right. I don't know. You guys have any other questions? Look at how it's like everyone knows that I have stuff to do today. So everybody was very efficient. All right. So you're limited in season streak 4 for champion.
I'm on streak 4 for both of them. So I think that's $50 and $200. So I'll obviously prioritize the champion one. So I've actually got some decent in-season cards as well. So I'll be able to throw a couple of darts at it to see if we can hit it. So that'll be fun. I realized I tell a lie, for as much as I haven't done this year, I do quite like the UI of Sorare this year.
Oh,
that sounds really nerdy, but I do think the UI is quite good. And I have just realized they have that My Circle function, and you're not in My Circle, so I couldn't even see if you'd have won this week.
Oh,
I'm about to immediately change that.
Yeah. I don't think I have anybody in my circle. No, that's not true. I've got Super Carl, Alan, that piece of shit. Alan, you in the chat? And then Boston Sean. Do I have any? Who else is in it? I also, those are the only 3 people. I also thought it said My Oracle for a while.
Oh, it could have been that. It's My Circle because you can go on someone's. I still don't think they do enough good. Like, there's some random things that they always implemented and never did, like the badges and the backdrop and the wallpapers, and they did it for like a day, and then there was like, no, now we're going to do something different. I'm like, okay, let's just chill. What was I going to say? It's just I'm just ticking away with it. The other thing as well is going to be. Are you playing Sorare baseball this year?
Yeah, I am. I really loved it last year.
I had way more. So I only play rare on the baseball one.
Yeah,
and I had so much fun playing that last year. I don't know what they're doing with, because I really liked the whole let's use energy from the classic cards to then put into it, and then they've scrapped it, haven't they? From my understanding. Because I thought they was going to bring that over to the NBA version, and they never did that. So
no, I think they're doing the opposite, where they're like, you can use one classic card in your in-season lineups, kind of like they did in the NBA. Yeah, I know.
Are they going to have? I assume they must have classic lineups still. They haven't.
I think no. Actually, oh man, they announced it. I can't remember what it is. They must have something, but I know you could do like 5 lineup. Yeah, they have to have a classic thing.
They have to, because otherwise I'm done.
Yeah, I know. But no, I'm excited about MLB. Yeah, we're doing that show tomorrow with Jump Shoot. That'll be on this channel, but also the So Rare channel. To get started with that'll be fun. But yeah, I really enjoyed baseball this year. I'm doing I know you can't do the underdog stuff, but I'm doing some best ball MLB.
Well, I saw the thing on your story about the Lakers thing. That looked well fun.
Oh my God, dude. I don't know if I'm sure the chat had heard this. I was so close to winning $200,000 on that trip, and Alpi Shengun shoved it up my ass with a really bad performance. So Alpi went for 22 fantasy points. And what would you say is a normal Shengun night? Like 40?
I don't know how underdog works for it, but I assume it's similar to Sorare.
Similar to Sorare.
Like, yeah, high 30s, low 40s.
Yeah,
that's where I'd put him.
So I was off. I came in 18th place, and I was 20 points off of first. And Shengun got me 22. My first round pick got me 22 fantasy points.
No.
And the worst part is it was my lineup was going early, and everybody could see, like, this. We were in a bar. They rented out this bar, and they had the standings, like the live standings shown everywhere. And for I would say 85% of the day, I was in first and second. And if I logged into my app, I was winning $300,000. And so I had people texting me, like on Discord or on my phone, everybody just shooting me messages being like, holy shit. But I already knew it was out. But you know what? Our boy, NBA TST, he qualified too.
I did see him, and I saw him on the story that he put up.
Yeah, he finished 4th for 40K. Yeah.
What was the end? Hang on. What was this? Was it like a?
It was like they call them a live final. It's called the Dog Bowl. And so they did 12 different qualifiers, and it was basically a $15 entry, I think. And only first and second qualified. And if you qualified, you got 10K. You went out there. They fly you out to LA for a hotel. They like rent out the place. And we went to a Lakers game. We did like a yacht party with Kenyon Martin and Brandon Jennings. And then on Sunday, they did like the full live final. It was pretty sick. It was a really cool experience. And it was, I didn't even show this shit here. Hold on. I think this was on the story, but let's, hold on. Should we do it like this? If you guys can see, we got little Mike Zacks.
Oh, that's cool.
Qualifier. So yeah, it was a really good time. They put on a great show. But yeah, I'll be mad at Shengun forever, dude, because it was looking like we were going to be rich. But it was a cool experience. All right. I feel like I missed everybody's questions in the chat. The Embiid shit, we don't know yet, right? He's still he's ramping up, but we don't really know, right?
No.
I don't think I'd heard anything positive about. I mean, they haven't projected for 39. I'd stay away from it at that cap of 52, though. I would take VJ over Holiday. We'll do this rapid fire because I got to get out of here. Man, I wish they would play my boy Cedric Coward 30 minutes. I really do. Cedric Coward projects for 28.6. Garza, you can't play Garza. Yeah, you play Coward over Garza. Garza had his time to shine, but it's over. Hold on, let's go. What else do we have in here? Okay, they were saying Energy was scrapped, and now it's 6+1 in season plus classic. Okay. All right. Shengun will have any minute restriction. I think if he's good to go, he's good to go. I think. Let me see. Did we get any more injury news stuff? I saw Wiggins is out still for Miami. Jaden Ivey's going to miss at least a week. I think that's the last thing that I saw. Jet Howard's available. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. Any other parting George, this is great to have you back, man. Missed you.
It's every time I'm like, I want to do more, and then some random shit comes up, and I'm like, I'm really tired and I can't jump on. Yeah. And today was one of them like lovely ones where it's like DST's played a factor. It's a little bit more chill.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, hey, all the stars have aligned.
Well, open invitation, man. You're always welcome. Everybody go subscribe to the Swingman Pod. Let me go drop a link to that in here. But yeah, we need to get you back stateside again too.
Yeah, I want to come over there again. Every year I say this. I really want to do the Summer League. Or the
dude, we need you. And now that you've tasted Vegas too.
Yeah, I really want to go back there for it. So because it's just really good fun. So that's what I want to do. Or alternatively, I mean, they're not doing the NBA Cup in Vegas anymore, right? Have they changed that?
Yeah, I think. Well, they're saying they might do the final there, but they're not going to do the semifinals. But I
feel like that would make a little bit more sense, but then I don't know. So, but yeah, I mean, if we're shamelessly putting plugs in, There's a link there right there for the latest YouTube video where I come third. Wow, you can't believe it. So I come third and won something. I don't think if the link's gonna work. But,
wait, you came in third in your most recent
yeah,
video?
I've done pretty well. I third on the podium. I missed out on first by like 0.1. I came third. I think if you come podium on the Challenger, it's actually harder because there's just a silly amount of people that enter that for top 3 spots. So yeah, I haven't been doing too badly. So but I mean, I'm not going to make the promise that I'm going to upload weekly because that I will break in a ridiculously quick amount of time in a week, probably. So
yeah, you just set good goals, good boundaries, good goals.
I'll tell you what, one thing that we will commit to, we will do a live before lock on the Swingman before the end of the fucking playoffs. Yeah, that has to be like, I have to do that because we've said it for all the time. Yeah, and it's just a case of just getting that sorted. So we will do that. Yeah,
you let me know. I'm down to do it, or like simulcast, whatever. I'm down to let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, man.
Simulcast. Look at Mr. Professional over here. I'm so out of the leagues and the streets for it. So,
by knowing the word simulcast,
the bar has never been lower.
All right, we are gonna fire off this giveaway. I dropped a link into the Swingman Pod. Go check that out. Again, apologies for doing the show a little bit earlier. Although I guess if you're overseas, this is probably way more enjoyable for you. We'll be back on Friday with that. The NBA Bit Monday through Friday. Oh yeah, go check out the Substack too if you haven't done that. I haven't plugged that yet today. As I said this morning, listen, we were top 50 or top 60 risers in the sports category on Substack. That lasted for like 12 hours though. So short-lived, but hey, I updated my LinkedIn. All right, I think that's it. Anything else you're going to plug? Anything else going on?
No, Rudy Gobert sucks. That'll probably be how I end. So
beautiful. Good luck with the streaks, everybody. If you win this thing, just shoot me a DM. Winner. Chicken dinner. What was your question, Gabriel? Fire the question back in. I missed it. Let me see if I can scroll up. Oh, here it is. Well, let's see what the winner is. Oh, Ricky Ricardo. Mr. Ricardo. Okay, Gabriel, this is real gross shit here, man. Okay. Dominic Barlow and Scoot Henderson or Justin Edwards and Cam Max Payne.
What a way to end it. Justin Edwards and Cam Payne is probably where I'd go.
There we go. The Philly combo. That's how you know you're down bad for the 76ers. Is 3 out of the guys we're in Philly. All right, everybody. We're going to call it there. George, thanks for doing it. Go sub to the Swingman Pod. We'll see you guys later. We are out.